Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're looking at AI in medicine, specifically how it's getting even better at helping doctors diagnose and treat heart conditions.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff, right? We're talking about those aortic vessels, those tricky branches coming off the heart.
Exactly, and why those are so important to map out with super precision.
Yeah, think about like placing a
But
stent.
stents.
Yeah, it's a tiny tube to keep a blood vessel open.
Yeah,
Um, Doctors need like a crazy clear picture of those vessels to do it safely, right?
makes sense. Okay, so that's where our deep dive comes in. We're going to be looking at a paper called VesselSAM, leveraging SAM for aortic vessel segmentation with LoRA and Atrous Attention.
Catchy title.
Right. But stick with us, it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, the core idea here is that this new model, VesselSAM, it uses a vision transformer.
A vision transformer.
Yeah, or VIT, to analyze these medical images. And what's cool about VITs is that they're really good at seeing both the fine details and the overall context of an image.
Yeah.
They can see the whole picture.
So it's not just about spotting a vessel, but it's about understanding how that vessel fits into the whole system, like the circulatory system.
Exactly. And this is a huge step up from older methods.
Okay, so VesselSAM, it's built upon this other AI model called SAM.
Right. The segmentation anything model.
I've heard of that one. It's been making waves for its ability to identify anything,
And
in any image.
yeah, super impressive. But
Uh,
SAM is great with, everyday photos,
mhm.
but medical images, they're a whole other beast.
In what way?
They can be low contrast. They have these unclear boundaries between tissues. And those vessels, those important vessels, they can be super tiny, hard to make out, like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Okay, so how does VesselSAM get around those problems to accurately map those vessels?
Well, that's where its innovations come in. There's this one called AtrousLoRA.
AtrousLoRA.
Combines two powerful techniques, Atrous Attention and Low-Rank Adaptation, or LoRA.
All right, so break those down for us. What's special about Atrous Attention first?
Okay, imagine a doctor trying to understand a complex heart condition.
Right.
They need to see both the big picture, the overall health, but also the fine details, like the size and shape of a particular blood vessel. Atrous Attention lets VesselSAM do the same thing.
So it's like having a powerful magnifying glass, but you can still see the whole landscape?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And that's super important for segmenting these vessels because you need to see those fine details, but also understand how they connect to the larger network, like the arteries and veins.
Okay, that makes sense. What about LoRA? What does that do?
So think of SAM, as this incredible high-performance machine, super powerful, but it could be really resource intensive.
Needs a lot of power to run, yeah.
Right. LoRA is like, it's all about making SAM more efficient.
So making that machine run smoother without losing any power.
Exactly. It focuses on fine-tuning just the essential parts of SAM. So VesselSAM can get the same level of accuracy, but doesn't need like a supercomputer to run.
Clever. Okay, I see. So we've got Atrous Attention, we've got LoRA. Anything else that makes VesselSAM tick?
Yeah, there's one more piece. It's called Atrous Spatial Pyramid Pooling, or ASPP.
Another mouthful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Basically, it's like giving VesselSAM different lenses to look at the medical image.
Different lenses.
Yeah, so it can analyze those anatomical features at various scales without losing detail.
So instead of one view, it's getting multiple perspectives to create a more complete picture.
Exactly. Like, think of looking at a painting close up, then stepping back to appreciate the whole composition. Both are important, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we've got this souped-up AI model that can analyze these medical images with incredible detail and efficiency. Sounds good in theory, but how do we know it actually, works?
Well, the researchers, they put VesselSAM through its paces, using two pretty challenging data sets, focusing on those aortic vessel structures.
Okay, and
The results were, well, really impressive, to say the least.
how impressive. Spill the beans.
VesselSAM consistently scored in the 93% range, which is considered state-of-the-art.
Wow, that's amazing. But, okay, high scores are one thing. What does that level of accuracy actually mean for, a patient out in the real world?
That's the really exciting part, right? So imagine you're a patient and you need a stent in one of your arteries.
Okay, yeah.
Traditionally, surgeons would use these 2D images.
Which I imagine is kind of like working in the dark.
It can be, yeah. But with VesselSAM, the surgeon could have this incredibly detailed 3D model.
Of their arteries.
Exactly. And they can use that to plan and perform the procedure so much more precisely.
So less guesswork, more accuracy.
Yeah,
and hopefully a faster recovery.
exactly. And it's not just about stents. VesselSAM can also help monitor aneurysms.
Aneurysms. Okay, so those are the weakened areas in blood vessels.
Right, the
Yeah.
ones that can, potentially rupture.
And how does VesselSAM help with that?
By creating these precise 3D models, doctors can track the size and shape of an aneurysm over time.
I see. So they can see if it's growing or changing shape, which could mean it's more likely to rupture.
Precisely. And this early detection is key because it allows doctors to intervene, before a rupture even happens, potentially saving lives.
That's incredible. It really shows how AI is like transforming healthcare.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's not just about individual patients, right? Think about the impact VesselSAM could have on, healthcare systems as a whole.
Yeah, that's a good point.
One major benefit is increased efficiency. VesselSAM can automate a lot of tasks that used to be done manually.
Okay, so that frees up doctors and technicians to focus on other things.
Exactly. Less time tracing blood vessels on images, more time with patients.
Yeah.
It could lead to shorter wait times for diagnosis and treatment, improving the overall quality of care.
I like that. And I know this is a big one for a lot of people, but could AI like this also help bring healthcare costs down?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And it might sound counterintuitive, but yeah, it could. Well, AI technologies like VesselSAM, they might seem expensive up front, but they have the potential to reduce costs in the long run.
Okay, explain that one to me.
Think of it this way. Earlier and more accurate diagnoses can lead to more effective treatments.
Which means you might avoid those costly procedures down the line.
Exactly. And by automating things, you reduce the reliance on, highly specialized personnel, which can further reduce costs.
So it's like a win-win for everyone, patients and healthcare systems.
Potentially, yes. But, with any powerful technology, it's super important to use it responsibly.
Right, of course. Are there any challenges or things we should be thinking about when it comes to AI in healthcare?
Well, one thing to remember is that these AI models, they're only as good as the data they are trained on. If the data is incomplete or biased, the results can be skewed.
So it's really important to make sure the data is, diverse and representative of the people it's going to be used to help.
Absolutely. And as AI becomes more and more integrated into healthcare, it's crucial to keep having these discussions about its potential impact, making sure we're using it ethically and responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. This has been a really fascinating deep dive. It's amazing to see how AI is already, changing things.
It really is. We're just scratching the surface, though.
Okay, before we get too carried away dreaming about the future, let's take a minute to recap what we've learned about VesselSAM and what it means for treating these heart conditions.
Sounds good. We covered a lot today.
Okay, so let's recap what we learned about VesselSAM.
Well, we started by talking about how important it is to have, accurate pictures of those aortic vessels.
Right, because that's key for diagnosing and treating those heart conditions.
Exactly. Think of it like having a super detailed roadmap of your heart.
I like that analogy.
It's crucial for procedures like placing stents or monitoring aneurysms.
Yeah, those are some pretty serious conditions.
And that's where VesselSAM comes in. This AI is like a master cartographer for your heart.
Wow, yeah. It builds those incredibly precise 3D maps of your vessels just from those medical images.
Pretty amazing, right?
And we talked about how VesselSAM is built on SAM.
Right, the segmentation anything model.
Which is already pretty amazing on its own.
Yeah, but VesselSAM takes it even further with those clever innovations we talked about.
Right, like Atrous Attention.
Which helps it see both the tiny details and the overall context.
It's like, what was that analogy?
Like seeing a single leaf, but also the entire forest.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then there's LoRA.
Which makes everything run so smoothly.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Efficiently, that's the word I was looking for.
And all of that leads to those crazy high accuracy scores, remember?
Yeah, like 93%.
That's like top of the class.
But of course, it's not just about numbers, right?
Of course not.
We talk about what this actually means for, real people.
Exactly. Like more precise stent placements.
And earlier detection of aneurysms.
Potentially saving lives.
It's amazing to think about the impact this could have.
On a larger scale, too, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, like making healthcare systems more efficient.
Reducing costs.
Improving the overall quality of care.
It really is exciting to see how AI is transforming healthcare.
It's mind-blowing. Before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with a thought.
Oh, what's that?
If VesselSAM can do all of this for heart conditions,
Yeah.
imagine what AI could do for other areas of medicine.
It's pretty incredible to think about.
Could it help us, detect cancer earlier? Or develop those personalized treatments
Hmm?
tailored to each patient?
The possibilities are
And
endless.
we're only just getting started, right?
Absolutely. It's
Awesome.
such a fascinating time to be following this field.
Couldn't agree more. Well, on that note, I think that's a wrap for our deep dive into VesselSAM and AI in medical imaging.
Thanks for having me. It was great to be here.
It was a pleasure. To everyone listening, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.